guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queen Toes, but you can also call me Tolu. If this is your first time joining me, you're welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, you are a real G. So today I'm going to be speaking on the topic steps in getting an apartment in Canada. So this video hopefully is going to help someone who is planning on relocating to Canada, someone who needs help in looking for apartments, someone who needs help in looking for a house, if you're a family, if you're someone who just need like a room in a house, just different types of accommodations that you might be on the lookout for. So this video I'm going to be showing you how you can actually search for that without having to be in the country yet. So if that's something you're interested in, keep watching. So in my next video, I'm going to be taking you along with me to different two-bedroom apartment here right now in Manitoba that are currently vacant. I'm going to be showing you what they look like. I have a lot of two-bedroom apartments which I already recorded for you guys. They are of different price range, and in that video I'm going to be explaining why one two-bedroom apartment is more expensive than the other. So if you're someone who is on the lookout for a two-bedroom apartment here in Manitoba, be sure to look out for my next week video. So now let's go straight into the video. Now, things to know when looking for an apartment here in Canada. The first thing you need to be aware of that it's going to happen is they're going to run a background check on you. And when I say a background check on you, I mean in terms of credit check. They're also going to check your rental reference. Depending on the apartment and the management in charge of that building, they may ask you for your 2 years rental reference, they may ask you for a 3-year rental reference. Now, because I know most people watching this video right now, probably people who are planning on relocating to Canada, and you do not have a rental reference here in Canada, and you might not yet have a credit you might actually not yet have like a credit score that they can go back to check your credit reference. So what I'm going to advise you to do is, when coming, it's advisable that you make sure you have about 4 months rent. That way they can see that you're serious and you're able to afford the apartment ahead of time. Most apartments might not accept for you to actually pay 4 months rent. They may actually really want to see that you have a good job, and they might also want to see your credit issue, but you might not have a credit issue right now. So they might ask you for a guarantor. So they might ask you for a guarantor. Now, if you're coming to a new country, you're coming to a new province whereby you don't know anybody and you don't have a guarantor, your best bet is to make sure that you have 4 months rent in advance. 4 months rent and also a security deposit. A security deposit is pretty much the half payment of your rent in a month. Okay, so let's say in a month your rent is 600. So your security deposit is going to be 300. So if your rent in a month is 600 and you are coming to a new country, you're coming to a new province, and you want to get an apartment, it's advisable for you to come with, that's how much? 2,400. So when I say 2,400, I mean that's 2,400 Canadian dollars upfront. Then you're going to add your security deposit, so that's pretty much 2,700 you have to come in with. Good. Hopefully you have someone living in that city that has a good credit score that can be a co-signer for you. So if you end up having that, you don't have to worry about having a 4 months rent upfront. But in my own opinion, I think if you're coming to a new country, it's advisable for you to be able to have your 4 months rent in hand, because believe me, it takes off that stress off you, especially if you're a new immigrant in the country. So you don't have to, at least for the next 3 months, you don't have to worry about your rent, so you have enough space to relax and not have to worry about bills. Okay, now when you're getting an apartment, the things you need to be aware of depending on the apartment. Obviously you want an apartment that is very close to your work, something that is very close to your school, depending on whatever destination that is very important that you need to be at. You want to make sure the public transport there is one that is going to be very convenient for you. The transit there is actually rapid and is actually a good one, because depending on the area you are at, you might just have one bus running, and that bus might just be running once every hour, and you don't want to do that, because that means if you miss that bus, you probably have to wait for the next one, which is going to come in an hour's time again. But if you have if you move to an area whereby you have different options of buses to take, so that let's just say you're supposed to take a bus 16 by 8:30 and you miss that bus. Hopefully bus 16 comes in another 20 minutes, or there's an alternative bus you can actually use. So that's also something you need to be on the lookout for. And I know you might be wondering, how am I going to know if the apartment I'm looking at right now is going to be easy access to my office or easy access for me to go to school? Don't worry, I'm also going to be showing you on my laptop right here to check the distance from whatever apartment location you're looking at to that of your school or your office. I'm going to show you all that in this video as well. Okay, so another tip of something you need to be aware of when looking for apartments, okay, especially if you're coming from a country whereby the weather is different. If you're someone who doesn't like cold, and you know that in the winter time you're literally going to have your heater on all day, that's something you need to be aware of, because the hydro bill can get high. Now, depending on the type of building you're living in, if you're living in a very if you're living in a new accommodation, like in a new building, yeah, buildings like that, the hydro bill tends to be lower. But if you're living in an older building, the hydro bill tends to be higher. And how will I know if the hydro bill is going to be high in my apartment? How am I going to know that? What I always do is I always ask the caretaker, or I ask the leasing agent, okay, how much do you think the hydro would be for a month? If possible, let them show you what the previous hydro bill for the last 2 months has been in the summer and in the winter, because the hydro bill tends to change in summer and winter, because you're using the hydro differently. And especially if you're someone who is going to be using the heater a lot in winter, you also need to be aware of that. Also, in most apartments you have to pay for your internet. Very few apartments offer internet, and even the apartments that offer internet, trash. They are trash. I'm not even going to lie, they are trash. Also, another thing you need to be aware of is if you're someone who is on the lookout for instant laundry in your suite, in your own apartment, you need to know that you tend to pay more compared to the apartments whereby it's more like a community laundry room that's usually in the basement, or depending on the apartment, it's usually in the basement, or each floor has their own laundry set. But yeah, that's also something you need to be on the lookout for, depending on what your budget is. And for the apartment, they usually have the laundry set on the floor or in the basement. Usually what happens is you have a card whereby you put in the laundry machine and you fill it and you put in money there. So that's how that works. So now I'm going to go over to my assistant and I'm going to show you how to actually search for apartments. I'm going to show you the #1 website in Canada where everyone searches for apartments. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so the famous website used is searching for apartments, searching for used items, used appliances, is www.kijiji.ca. So once you come to www.kijiji.ca, over here where you see the search for anything, you move over to the right hand side and make sure you change the location to the location you're going to be based at. So right now we have Winnipeg, which is the city, and Manitoba, which is the province. So that's fine. So I have it set at Winnipeg, Manitoba. So now what you want to do is you go back to the search bar, and let's say we're searching for a 2-bedroom apartment. So all you have to do is type in 2-bedroom apartments, and what it does, it brings out all the available 2-bedroom apartments up for rent. What you have to do is you go down, and if you can see, we have all the various listings for the 2 possible bedroom apartment up for rent. And the good thing about this website, it tells you the date in which this ad was placed, so you know what your chances are. So like you can see, this one was currently placed on the 10th of June. As you can see, this one was placed 6 hours ago, and this one was placed yesterday. Like, it literally just shows you the time, the date in which the ad was posted. Another good thing about this website is it gives you other possibilities of options that you can go with. Like you can see, it also brought out a 1-bedroom apartment as well, but since we're on the lookout for a 2-bedroom apartment, okay, so now I'm going to show you the first apartment which I opened. This is what the building looks like for this particular apartment. I don't know if you can see to the right hand side where it says contact them. So what you have to do is you just have to make sure that you send in a message, a detailed message telling them, oh, I am interested in applying for this apartment. Or and you can also let them know you're currently not yet in the country, but you're looking at renting this place when you arrive. And if you go further down, it shows you more, you have more pictures, and I'm just going to zoom that in for you. This is the first picture, which happens to be the front of the apartment, and as you keep going, this is the hallway, and this happens to be one of the bedrooms as well. And this is what the kitchen looks like, and this is the living room, and I'm guessing this is also a second bedroom, and the bathrooms. This apartment is actually going for $825 for a 2-bedroom 1-bathroom. If you move further down, this is where I want you to actually pay attention. If you're going to be looking online for searching for apartments available for rent, you always want to go for the ones that have pictures. I always go for the ones that have pictures, because that way you actually have a sense of what the apartment looks like, so you don't have to wait till you go there to view the apartment and you're shocked and you're like, okay, this is not what I expected. Earlier when I was saying about knowing the location of the apartment you're searching for, so you can search for the distance between the location of the accommodation and the location of your school and working. If you move towards the right, there is a map right here that shows you the address of the apartment, and literally shows you where the apartment is located in the city, so that way you already know. And if you move all the way down, and in the overview, it literally tells you what your apartment comes, what it entails, the things that is being offered in this apartment. As you can see, when it comes to utilities, hydro isn't included in this apartment in your rent. It also isn't, but water is. Also, they are not offering you internet, and you do not have a parking space, and you have to sign a 1-year agreement, 1-year leasing agreement with them. And also, is it pet friendly? They said is limited, so that's also something you want to take note of, because not all apartment actually offers you to have pets. Some do, some don't, and even those that do allow you have your pets in, some actually they have a preference in what kind of animal you can have as a pet in the building. It pretty much gives you specifications when it comes to appliances. You have your laundry in the building, so that just means your suite, your own private suite, doesn't have an in-suite laundry, so that means you have to go to either the basement, depending on how the layout of the building is. It also comes with a fridge and freezer. You do not have air conditioning. That means in the summer it's gonna be a little bit hot for you as well, depending on the kind of building. There is no smoking allowed in the building as well. You do not have also a personal outdoor space. This building also doesn't offer any form of amenities, that's in form of gym or like a social gathering room whereby you can rent for events and stuff like that. And if you look over to the right hand side of every ad, literally this is where you send a message telling them your name, telling them you're interested in this kind of apartment, the date you're looking at to move in, asking them what their specification, like what they require for you to get the apartment, things like that. And you also have a contact number. Okay, now so this is a second apartment, and you can obviously tell that this apartment is a little bit more fancy than the previous one that I showed you. Okay, let's see what this apartment actually looks like. Okay, so this is the living room for this apartment. Also, most apartments don't come furnished, so this is just like a display, so showing you what your apartment could possibly look like. So this is the living room, and this is a bedroom as well. This is quite big and nice, and this is the bathroom. And I guess this apartment also offers a pool, so I guess you can enjoy this with your friends if you have friends that come over as well. This is what the building looks like. So this apartment goes for $13.99. This is a 2-bedroom apartment, and I guess they just didn't show us what the second bedroom looks like, and that's also fine if you want them to send you a picture of what the second bedroom looks like. Now let's go down to see what they offer. And in terms of utilities, it covers your heat and it covers your water, but it doesn't cover your hydro. Your Wi-Fi is not included. You also don't have parking space. But also another thing is, for apartments that do not offer you parking space, you can always rent a parking space close to you. This is 901 square feet. This apartment is not furnished. You also have your laundry, but it's on the building, not in your suite, and it also comes with fridge and freezer. So I guess both apartments that I've showed you right now also don't have a dishwasher, so that's something that this has air conditioning, and you also have a private balcony. You are not allowed to smoke as well. And if you also move over a little bit, you can see the amenities this building offers. You get your pool, you have your 24-hour security, you have storage space, and you have the elevator in the building. Yeah guys, we've come to the end of this video. I'm not sure if I'm leaving anything out, but just in case I did and you have more questions for me, please leave a question for me down below, and I'll be sure to answer it in my next video. I hope this video was very informative. I hope you did learn a thing or two, and yeah, I just hope this video really did help somebody out there. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go down below to subscribe, and be sure to check out my next week's Sunday's video, whereby I'm going to be taking you on a tour of various 2-bedroom apartments, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and a 1-bedroom as well. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I'm going to see you in my next one. By the way, my name is Queen Dolls, but you can also call me Tolu. Thank you for watching my video. Bye guys.